Hey, I'm Jeff with Night Sky Murals. And a few months ago, I was at a customer's house to paint his theater room, and I saw a mural that he had painted on his wall similar to this one. And I liked it so much that I was going to create a stencil that you could buy, but it's so easy that I thought I would just show you. It's going to be cheaper for you, easier for me, and you're going to enjoy it. So if you're interested in something like this, watch the video and I hope you like it. Okay, so if you're still with me, then that means you're probably wanting to see how easy this is and how hard it is, and you may want to try it. So let me show you what tools I used. First, the blue tape to tape along the side of the sides of this. If you don't want to paint the sidewalls, blue tape is good so you don't get paint on those. I got just some white paint. This is titanium white. Got that at Michael's. A scraper. That's to put this stuff on. I used a Q-tip for some of the stars. It's just really easy and you're not going to be doing a whole lot, so this comes in handy. And I modified this Q-tip, took off the cotton to make the small stars. The cotton on it makes the big stars. I used one of these because I couldn't find just a small plate, so I bought this. You can get one of those, or just a small plate really, just something to put the paint on. When I did the stars, I just used a little cap that I found with some paint. And then something else you'll want to get to create your own mountainscape is get some like 3-foot paper, I believe it is. It's 2.5 or 3 foot. I got this at Lowe's, just brown paper, and you'll see later on in the video how I drew the mountains out. And I talk about cutting them out and just creating whatever mountain look you want. And with that, then if you don't want to use our kit, you can just paint these freehand. If you're going to want to paint the stars here and then carry it on over your ceiling to create a beautiful night sky, then one of our kits is really nice. But you don't need it if you're just going to do a wall, but it is handy. All right, so let's get going. So here's the paper I got at Lowe's. You can get it probably at Home Depot. Looks like 2.5 feet, 3 feet, whatever. So what I did is I just rolled it out however long I needed. Oh, and something else, you might want to go online and find some mountain peaks that you like the Matterhorn or just different popular peaks, and then see how those are and draw those in, put those peaks where you want them, and then just fill in the mountains between. I already have this because I did a trial a few months ago, and so like I said, there's a Matterhorn, there's another, I think just a generic peak, and so with this part cut out, this is where you're going to paint the black from here down. I already painted the top part navy. I'm going to put this stencil on top of the navy, and then hopefully the navy came down low enough, and then I'll paint black down to the floor. That will create my mountains, the silhouette of the mountains, and then you do the rest of the painting after that. But that's this part. This is my old office. I'm going to tape it off here because I don't want to have to retouch these walls later. The top's going to be navy blue and the bottom's going to be black. And then I have a stencil that I drew and I cut out, which I'll show you how to do. And I'm going to put it up on top after the navy is painted and dry. And then I'm going to paint the rest black down below it. That's going to make the mountains. Okay, I'm going to start first by going around the edges, and then we'll paint inside the tape. Okay, this is dry, so I'm going to put the little stencil up with the mountains on it, and I'm going to paint black all the way down. And a little tip I wanted to share with you. If you're going to take a couple days to paint, maybe let it dry. If you take your roller, you don't have to wash it out. Just wrap it in a little bag like this you get at the store. Wrap it up really good. It'll be perfect to start using again the next day. Anyway, wanted to share that because that's what I needed to do. Okay, so now I'm going to put the stencil up. Okay, so paint's dry, so what I'm going to do now is add snow. Some of you may just like it at this point. I talked to my son, he said he likes it there, but some of you may want snow on the peaks. So what we're going to do is pretend that the moon is over there and the light's coming this way, so you're going to see more snow here, and probably just a little, I'll cut some in a little line here. So if you like it like this, you can shut the tape off and wait till we do the stars. If you want snow, let's go at it. Okay, what I'm going to be using here is what is this? This is titanium white. I just picked this up at Michael's. You can get it wherever. I don't know much about any paint other than my glow paint, so this is what I know. I'm also using one of these. I'm just going to cut the snow in, and let's see how it goes. I'm just going to get it some like this. Alright, so now what we're going to do is put the stars on the wall in white with white paint. And what I was going to do is I grabbed a couple sheets from the stencil kit, from our do-it-yourself kit. This is the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. And I was going to put those on here. I was going to put those on the wall, but these are supposed to be actual size if you were to paint them on a normal size ceiling. And the proportions here are not, they wouldn't look good with the normal size Big and Little Dipper. So what I'm going to do is I pulled up the Big and Little Dipper on the phone, and I'm just going to freehand these. But if you have a normal size wall that you're going to be painting on and ceiling, you can either save these for the ceiling, or if it's big enough wall, you can put these on the wall with the stencil kit. Now, let me show you one thing. These two stars right here in the front part of the Big Dipper are actually the pointer stars, and they're pointing to the North Star. So when these two constellations usually go together, and it's really nice. Just know that the North Star is the last star in the handle of the Little Dipper. So you just find those two stars and they point right to it. If you want to get really into it, the distance from this top star to the North Star is actually 5 times the distance of those two. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And anyway, little something if you want to help. So I'm going to just freehand these. I'm not going to use that big palette thing I had yesterday. I'm going to use this little cup. I'm using a Q-tip because I didn't want to go find the tools for the kit. But let's do the Big Dipper first. And I think I'm going to put the Big and Little Dipper in this area because I want to have the Milky Way. I'm going to put a Milky Way in here, and it's going to come out of here and kind of go across over there. And the Big and Little Dipper aren't in the Milky Way. So let's do this. All right, so the paint in the constellation stars is dried, and we can put up these sheets. These sheets here are what really make the stencil kits worth their weight in gold. I've got the stars, some small holes drilled in each one of these sheets in different patterns that you're not going to see any repetition. But you move these around. If you're doing the ceiling, you move them around the ceiling, and you get so many stars in there, and it looks so beautiful. Anyway, the stars I'm painting in the white are a little bit bigger than I would normally paint, or you would normally paint the glow stars. And this is not the size that you'll be painting the stars. This is just a plate to help guide you in where to put it. Anyway, these are a little bit bigger than the glow paint stars will be. But once I'm done with these white stars on here, I'm going to come back and put a glow star in the middle of each of these other stars. So you'll see this in the light, and then you're going to, with the lights off, you'll have a different type of mural. It's going to be a glow in the dark type. It's going to be great. You have two murals in one. And I'm using, because normally I don't do this type of mural, so I modified a Q-tip. I just took the cotton off of one end, and that's what I'm doing to paint those stars. Anyway, I'm going to put these up real quick, and then we'll get started. Okay, so these two sheets that I have here are, like I said before, they have different patterns for the holes, for the little guides. So what I'm going to do is paint both of these, and then I'm going to leapfrog this one over here, over to this spot, and then I'll take this one and bring it over to here. I may flip it around or flip it upside down. You don't need to, because you're really not going to see any repeating patterns, but I like to break it up a little bit. And also you'll see I'm putting them this way. Normally I would probably put them like this, but this is basically covering all the way down to the mountains. There's a little bit of blue sky underneath this one and that one, so I'll just add maybe 2 or 3 stars, and we'll go. So let's get started. So as you can see in the corner, it's gone over. There's not enough room for another full sheet. So you could either overlap this one and just make sure you see the blue instead of the black, and then paint in those areas. That's an easy way. Or this is also in your kit, and it's just really easy for areas that are really hard to get to. You're just going to use this, and I'm going to use this right now. Okay, that's the video. I hope you liked it. Hope you found something that might help. If you decide to do something, you can go basic like I did, or you can go more intricate. It doesn't matter. But if you do end up painting a mural, please send me pictures. I'd love to see them. Other than that, just get painting. Thanks.